Hello, greetings, good evening to everyone. Hey, good evening to everybody. Eastern Standard Time, it's only 3 p.m. here. Hey, come on in the room, come on in the room. Hi, everybody. Tonight is a very special night because we're going to be joined by a really, really dope sister. I got a list of questions for her. I got to pull up my questions. I'm really excited to talk to her about her health and wellness journey, and particularly how she was able to heal herself by using the phenomenal methods, diet, and herbs of Dr. Sadie. And I know that this week it has been trending. This video that's never seen before video of the very first time that I and Dr. Sadie met, and I interviewed him and asked him some really interesting questions. It's just been trending all over the place. So I'm really, really grateful for everybody who enjoyed the interview, who learned a lot from the interview, all the comments, all the messages. I've been receiving loads of messages from people from all over the world who have been watching this video. And it's just been really incredible to see how he influenced so many people. And if you've been following my platform for a while, then you know that I always show him love and respect as an honored ancestor and someone who certainly changed my life and my perspective about what it meant to be vegan. I went vegan 22 years ago. And at the time, I thought I was doing good with my carrot tuna salad and my tofu, my fried tofu, and my bean burritos from Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? I was eating McDonald's French fries, and I said, well, I'm good to go. I'm vegan, But I learned, and was very inspired through watching Sadie that it was much deeper than I thought. And then going there showed me that it was even deeper than that. It was even deeper than that, that you could still be sick, obese, all of these things, even on a vegan diet, if not done correctly, and if you are not taking the necessary steps to educate yourself and start the process of learning how to not just go plant-based, but to start eating electric foods so that you can heal yourself, mind, body, and spirit. So, this conversation tonight, especially for those of you who want to learn about the truth of how this really works. You want to learn about whether or not you can actually take yourself from sick and diseased into wellness. And that's what I think most of the people who are following me are here to learn. They want to find out, can I really heal myself naturally? Can I really eat this way? And can it really make a difference? So that's what we're here to talk about tonight. And I am so grateful to have this amazing sister, Rosalind. Tonight, I got to get my questions together. But I'm going to pull her on in the room. I'm grateful for her patience. Thank you. How are you today, Rosalind?
I'm great. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm honored to have you with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really grateful to be here right now and just, honored to have this time and moment with you.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's jump right into this conversation. There's been a lot of people wondering about whether or not it's true that they can avoid years of medication, surgery, all of these things that we've been taught. There's no way to get around these things with certain diseases, and that for some diseases you just have to go traditional. Take me into your story a little bit when you first found out that something was off and you were not well. Take me through that experience and what exactly happened with you.
So I think it started around the time I was like maybe 10 or 11. My mom started noticing that I was always tired. Also noticed like around the winter months, my fingers and my toes would turn purple. And also even before then, I was born premature, and I dealt with a lot of illness throughout my life. Like I always had pneumonia or bronchitis or something at a young age. And so pretty much throughout my life, I always dealt with some type of illness, whether it was with my lungs or, allergies or something minor like that. But it wasn't until, like I said, around 10 or 11 when my mom really started noticing that I was just always tired. My joints and stuff started hurting, and I was just stiff a lot. And so I actually, probably like close to my 12th birthday, that's when we really started going to different doctors in the city, really trying to figure out what was going on, because my pediatrician, he pretty much had done everything he could, but he had said that he felt like it was some sort of autoimmune disorder, but he wasn't sure. So he started suggesting that to my mom that she take me to all these different doctors to get tests done. And, they drew so much blood. I can't even remember how much blood they drew, how many doctors I saw. I saw probably, I would say around 6 specialists before they said that it was actually lupus. So it took them almost about, I would say, a year to diagnose me.
Wow. Okay. So you're only 12 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
that's scary as hell.
Yes.
For you to find this out at a young age. How did your family respond to this? I assume the fear would drive anybody to just do whatever medications they were told to do.
Most definitely. My mom and my parents, my family in general, they did what they could, what they felt was best for me. And like you said, the doctor suggested certain medications. I went from taking probably no medicine to about 10 pills a day at the age of 12. So it was definitely a very sudden and quick change. And it was a lot. And my body felt it too, because I felt better, but the medicine was definitely taking a toll on my immune system and just how I felt on a regular basis. So, but yeah, my family did exactly what the doctors told me to do. And at the time, I had a really good pediatrician. He actually suggested to my mom, maybe she should change a lot of what she was consuming. No sodas, no sugar. I got off of bread. The only meats that I was really eating at the time was fish and chicken. So a lot of stuff was being cut back. And, my family supported me, but, growing up in the South and in Memphis, we eat a lot. And so we eat everything. And so they did what they could. They played their role. But for me, I knew I had to really be consistent and really be disciplined with what I was consuming and with my medicine. Even though I hated taking the medication, I had to be very disciplined in that. So, I had to grow up fast. I will say that.
Yeah. There's so many of our children who are struggling with this type of stuff today, and
Mm-hmm.
even more so now when we were younger. So here you are, having to take these medicines every day. Your family's trying to support by cutting back on certain things, but they don't really know how to do this.
Right.
And we know that the doctors only have so many hours of training on nutrition, so they don't know how to really do this either.
Yeah.
How bad did it get before you decided you may need to go further?
Yeah, so throughout high school, I struggled in and out of the hospital all the time. I really couldn't be as active as I wanted to be. There were times where I had to have like minor surgeries. I had to have a stent put in my arm. I had to have a PICC line that stayed in for like a year, to where I had to be homeschooled for, I think, like 6-7 months because they didn't want the PICC line to be removed out of my arm, because it had to be from my arm straight to my heart. Like I had to get injections. They went straight to my heart because I had really bad heart condition at the time. So that happened, and then it was in phases, really. That happened, and then once I got to college and I was living on my own, I kind of started doing more. I went a little further because, I was buying my own food, really taking care of myself. I was away from home, so I had to make my own decisions for the most part. And that's when I started exploring more with vegetarianism, veganism, and at that time, I didn't realize, even though I was mostly plant-based or vegan, I was eating a lot of stuff that wasn't healthy for me. So, a lot of potatoes, a lot of just starch in general, using a lot of oils in my diet, and that was not helping me at all. So it had gotten to the point to where I had to have my gallbladder removed, and my body wasn't processing anything anymore, and my body literally shut down, and I was very, very sick, like to the point to where they didn't think I was going to make it. So I had to make a conscious decision for myself, like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, what my next step? So this is around the time, I'm studying nutrition in school already. I went to school to be a dietitian, and I'm noticing the things that I'm studying in school really wasn't lining up. Like, even the meal plans that some of my advisors had suggested, they were like, I was like, I don't think I should be eating this. Like, this doesn't even sound right. And even when I would try it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is no good for me. So around the same time, I started discovering, holistic medicine. I started coming into videos of Dr. Sebi. I actually saw a couple of your videos online as well. And I was like, okay, let me try this. Let me see if this is going to work. So I downloaded Dr. Sebi's meal guide, and I started implementing it and really getting consistent with it. And I noticed, like, okay, this is actually working. Like, this is actually helping me. I noticed my skin was clearing up. I didn't have as much inflammation in my joints. And it just made me feel a lot better. So I would say that was probably, I can't remember an actual year, but it's been 12 years now that I've been using Dr. Sebi's method and other electric methods of food and all the other research that I've done. So I'm not fully on that diet anymore, but I do stick as close as possible to it. Like, there are some vegan options that I'll consume that aren't, acceptable, but for the most part, I still lean towards that electric diet.
Gotcha. Okay. So, would you say that this was strictly diet that for you started to really, really feel and see the changes? Were there any other methodologies that you started to incorporate as well?
Absolutely. Not only was it diet, but...
I'm just at my door. Hold on one second.
Okay, go ahead.
Sheesh. Sorry, guys. I bet there are cartoons in here loud. Okay. It's after school. All right. So now, other methodologies that you were incorporating.
Oh, definitely. Like, I also noticed at the time, stress played a major, major role in my health. And I knew that I had to really release the stress. Ooh, that looks really, really good.
Can we see that bowl? I'm like, y'all wasn't supposed to see that.
I should have kept some of my salad because I just finished my salad that I had. So I'll do that later. But yeah, like, a lot of my health issues came with stress. And I knew I had to let go of the stress. So I started implementing more meditation, just, praying, getting more closer to my ancestors and really learning that side. I grew up Christian and stuff. So, I was reading my Bible regularly, but, I had to find a different path with that. So, but yeah, meditation and then exercising also played a big role. So yoga, Pilates, some weight training when I could do weight training. And, being just active, moving every day, finding some way to move my body every day, whether it was dancing, whether it was stretching or anything. So it's definitely a holistic practice, and not just food, but, you have to really get your mind and your spirit in alignment as well.
Absolutely.
Now I'm gonna ask some of the hard questions because I think what people they see the lifestyle. They look at people like Sadie. They're looking at my cookbook. They see in the list of what they can and can't eat, and they immediately go, "Oh hell, I can't do this."
Yeah.
You know, it feels overwhelming and almost impossible when you first start looking at it, right?
Right.
Am I right, y'all? I know I'm telling the truth.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, for sure.
Y'all see it and it's like, oh, I can't do this. And then you have to think about, okay, how can I actually do this? I got restaurants, I got my friends hanging out, they coming over here with the hot wings, and you're a college student, and now we're looking at your economic situation,
yes.
right? Yeah, right. And then we got to look at family and friends and traditional events, your church family, and whether or not you have the support system right in your immediate space, in your environment, to support you through this process. How were you able to have that level of discipline? Did you have the support? Did you know how to cook already?
Okay, so what helped me a lot was growing up. I definitely grew up around a cooking family. So my great grandmother, when she was living, she cooked from scratch. She had her own garden. So I learned from her how to grow food and how to go outside and find things that were edible and, being able to make a meal out of that. So I had that background. And then, my grandmother, my mom, they all cooked. So I definitely grew up around a very cooking culinary family, and we love to cook. Yeah, so that helped me out a lot. I will say that. So I used a lot of the recipes that I already knew, and I just substituted, the meats, the dairies, the unhealthy products, and replaced them with something that was healthier. And then it also played a role with, when I got to college, I met a lot of people who were from Africa, who were from, other foreign countries and, like the Caribbean and all that. And they introduced me to spices and foods that I had never heard of. And so that also helps with just exploring different things with my palate and, having an expansion of with my recipes. So that helped out a lot, for sure. But it was hard. It was definitely hard because I didn't want to give up the fried chicken. I wasn't ready to give up the ribs. I wasn't really ready to give up the fish because seafood was the hardest thing for me to give up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the shrimp baskets.
Yes. Yes. Yes, the catfish.
I can fully relate as a young woman coming from the South, Midwest. We ate everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was difficult. Fortunately, if you do have that. Yeah, when you have that background of women and men around you who cook, it definitely does change. It's helpful. It's helpful because you know kind of where to pull it from, at least to make it taste good, if nothing else. But what I find is that people have a hard time identifying and sourcing these foods because they've never heard of this stuff before. They've never seen something like what is. They don't know what it is. So this is really has been my inspiration for all the work that I do and trying to put books out and trying to do culinary classes. And finally, I've just launched the Electric Academy because I said I've got to make this. It can't just be me out here. I need as many people as possible to actually study how to do this. So I'm so grateful. If you guys are interested, please go and check out the electrickitchen.com. I put my heart and soul into and all the beta class students. You guys have been amazing. I'm grateful for all the students who are coming on board. And so this is what it's all about. We got to heal ourselves. So now, take me to how old are you at the time where you started to really get the hang of this diet and really feeling those results? Around how old were you then?
I would say probably 24, 25 when I really started getting used to it. It was like second nature to me. Like my recipes had gotten to the point to where even some of my friends, because no one else around me was vegan or vegetarian. everybody ate, how I used to eat. And so even all of them around me were like, hey, can you make this what you made last time? Because like one of the things that I loved to make was lasagna. And so like all of my friends would ask me, hey, can you make that vegan lasagna you made? Like, because, it's good. Like, it tastes better than this lasagna. So yeah, it's, stuff like that. I noticed, like, when those people who aren't even trying to change their diet was like, hey, this is good, I knew I was on to something. So I was like, oh, yeah, let me just keep on working on it, keep perfecting these recipes. And, yeah.
Awesome. And apologies, my Wi-Fi or something is sketchy over here, or maybe the watchers and listeners are call here. We're talking about how to heal naturally,
right?
And it happens.
Yeah.
So apologies to everybody watching, and to you, Sister Rosalind. We're gonna keep going, and we're gonna do our best.
Oh, good.
And I heard the audio is a little low on my end. So you guys bear with me. It's also very windy. I'm on my patio and the birds are chirping and the wind is blowing and the ocean is rolling and it's a lot. I'm literally right at the ocean here and it's crazy, right? So there's a lot of nature. So
yes.
We're going to do our best.
Yes.
So now, we are on, if you're just tuning in, welcome, and we are on live with our beautiful queen, healer, warrior, goddess, the Rosalind Renee. Am I saying that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And she is currently in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yes, I am in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, gotcha. And I have the privilege of interviewing her here today because she has been a warrior for her health and pretty much healed herself through nature by using electric and alkaline foods, following the Dr. Sebi diet. Talk to me, Rosalind, about now that you move into a space where you have started to really see and feel the results. Would call me and he knows we on this live.
Wait.
I don't know why, but we are having an epic conversation, y'all. So talk to me about you've gotten yourself to the point of that you start to feel better. At what point did herbs become a regular part of your life with the 7 food group, we like to say? Was that a major part of your transition as well?
Most definitely. I actually started that early with implementing a lot of the herbs into my regimen. Especially, like, my go-tos were always burdock root, sarsaparilla, what else? Dandelion.
Yes.
Still my top 3. Like, those are
that blood.
Yes. Trying to get all that, especially because at the time I dealt with a lot of heavy periods too, due to the medication. I had a lot of issues, so I noticed just with consuming that on a regular basis, those 3 teas helped with not only my cycle, but it also helped with just the inflammation and cleansing my blood, clearing my skin, and it was a lot. It was really, really helpful. So I started using herbs very early on into the transition.
Awesome. Now, have you had people now asking you, put me on whatever you did for yourself, help me do the same thing you did?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
I do get a lot of people that ask for my help, which I don't mind helping at all. And I do have coaching packages that I offer to people. But I also tell people it's not just me helping you and telling you what to do and telling you what to eat, but it's about your dedication, how consistent you're going to be, and how committed you are to your own health. Like, what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish out of all of this? Like, what are you wanting the end result to be? Like, and I tell people all the time, I had to write that down for myself and really post that around everywhere so that I can remind myself I'm doing this for a purpose and a real reason, because if I don't, I'll get sidetracked and I'll go right back, to eating whatever or however I was and getting back depressed and, having all these emotions and things, and I'll be right back in the hospital where I was. And I'm like, I do not want to be there. So I had to literally remind myself with whatever I could to make sure I stayed in alignment and on track with my goals.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because lupus is one of those things, and correct me if I'm wrong, that can you can carry with you. It can flare up on you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where it's going to come from or what part of the body it may affect most. Am I right?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah. And so today now, are you still experiencing some of those symptoms from time to time? Is it something that only comes up every blue moon if you're stressed, or how is that going with you?
No, I haven't had any issues in the 12 years that I've made the transition. I had last year. I had like a little stress episode, in 2020 because lost my job and a whole bunch of craziness happened. So I had a stress episode. But when I went to the doctor and saw the people to get blood work done, they were like, "Well." I let them know I do have a history of lupus, and I just wanted to check that. And when they checked it, they said, "Well, we don't see anything. We don't see any signs of lupus." They couldn't figure out what it was. They were like, "It's just stress. Like you really are under a major load of stress." So they was like, "If you can just get rid of whatever's stressing you out, you'll be good." So, but yeah, I haven't had any issues in the 12 years that I've made the transition.
Congratulations!
Yes, thank you.
Healed herself. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? And I was actually, that was one of my questions, was for you to take me to the moment where you went to the doctor and they did the blood work and said, "What lupus?"
Yeah, so I went a 1 year where I was very consistent. I followed Dr. Sabi's meal guide that entire year. I didn't have no cheat days. I didn't do nothing, that I wasn't supposed to do. I made sure that one of the things that also helped me was, which I still do today, 4 times a year I'll do a detox, whether it's with, herbs or whether it's a raw detox or something with herbs or, however I decide to do it. I'll do that at least 3 to 4 times a year. And that helps to just, reboot my body, get me back in alignment, cleanse anything that may have possibly got into my system. And that helps out a lot. So so I did that for 1 year consistently. And then after that 1 year, I went to the doctor. They took all my blood work, and my doctor was like, and I actually went to a new doctor. I had transferred all of my paperwork to him. He showed, I showed him everything, gave him my history and all that. He took the blood work. He called me the next day. He was like, "Are you sure you've ever been sick?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have been." I was like, you want to talk to my mama?" I was like, "Cause she can let you know. All the hospital visits. She can let you know all the money we spent. Like, do you need you need some, you need somebody to talk to?" And so he was like, "I'm just, it's just surprising." He was like, "Cause your blood work comes up like you're just a healthy young woman." He was like, "There's really nothing I see wrong with you." He's like, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're doing great." And then at the time, I had just finished my dietetics degree. So I just became a registered dietitian, and I told him that. And so he was like, "Oh, this is really good. You'll do great." He's like, "Help as many people as you can, and you'll go really far in your career." So, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. I love to hear stories like this. I tell people all the time, I've worked with hundreds of families over the years, and you would be shocked at all the beautiful miracles that take place when you are consistent and you follow the diet. But again, people, they don't have the support, they don't have the environment, they don't have the money, they don't have the skills. But you don't let any of these things stop you.
Not at all.
That's what it's all about. You got your mind very focused. You kind of went into what Uriah likes to call full submersion.
Yes.
Fully submerged yourself into your healing process and said, I'm about to focus on this. I'm not going to stop until I feel myself. And that's the kind of attitude that we have to have. It's like with anything.
Yes.
I don't know why people think that they can play with their health and that they're going to have the outcome that they're expecting. It's just not going to happen. So you have to fully immerse yourself into your goal. And that's what you've done. And I just commend you for staying the path. And I know you're going to help so many people with this story. There's so many people watching right now. They're so excited to hear this story. I want you all who are listening to us today, you heard Sister Rosalind, you got to be encouraged and you got to be committed. and you got to stay the course. You cannot think that you're going to just ignore your diet or
No.
even regular vegan junk diet, because that's what
No.
she was doing. Because I certainly was around that same time eating that way. I thought I could just eat a bean burrito from Taco Bell and I was doing okay, but disease is still going to grow when you're eating like that.
Definitely.
So this is a phenomenal story. And there's so many of us suffering with lupus right now. So your story is very, very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you so much.
Oh, man. You guys, please go and check out our sister Rosalind Renee. She also offers health and wellness consultations and packages. Check her out. And please, if you are interested and you want to know how to start incorporating this diet, how to cook these foods, how to learn how to source these foods, the food philosophy, how to understand how these foods work with your body, ethnogenetics, understanding how to actually make this your lifestyle. I'm looking for some star students. I'm looking for my wellness warriors, because we all need our comrades on this journey. Please go and sign up to theelectrickitchen.com. I would love to take y'all as students. We're getting started on July the 11th, so you still have time. Class is almost full. I'm taking a small amount of women and men, I'm taking a small amount of people so that we can have a nice, intimate group. So please join us. Rosalind, again, thank you for your time today. And I hope to keep in touch with you, sister. I'm sure we'll do some wonderful works together. Thank you.
Yes, thank you again. And I definitely look forward to working with you and speaking with you again soon.
Absolutely. Have a beautiful Tuesday.
You too.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Bye.
I'm seeing all these phenomenal comments. Y'all go show that sister love and follow her. I am so, so grateful to have so many of you in the room hearing this beautiful, inspirational story of healing and wellness today. Y'all heard it right here. You can heal thyself. You can do it. You don't have to go under the knife through chemical medications.
No.
You can heal yourself.
Yes, you can. You definitely can. And don't let nobody tell you can't do it, because it is definitely possible. I'm a living testimony that you can do it. You know, they told me that I wouldn't live past the age of 25. I am 31, will be 32 in October. And, you know, I'm healthy as can be. They told me I would never be able to have children. I don't have children yet, but I have a very healthy body that I can carry a child if I desire to. So, you know, again, don't let anyone speak anything over your life that you don't want. You speak over your own life. You know how you want your life, and you can change your life any way you can through, again, consistency, with discipline, with prayer, with meditation, and just with love. And even if you don't have people around you to support you, you know, support yourself. Find your tribe. That's what I had to do. I had to find my tribe. I had to find like-minded individuals that were in support of me and that could help me along the way. So, you know, once you get to that point, it's all easy. It's hard, not hard at all.
Awesome. And for those of you guys asking what I'm eating today, I'm gonna show it again.
That is
real simple today. Real simple. You know, we got some avocado. We got some grapes in here. We got some tomatoes and cucumbers. We got some romaine lettuce, some black olives. We kept it real simple. What is the dressing? Just a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle of black salt, and a little pinch of agave, and some lemon.
Yes, that's it. And please stop and don't eat no store-bought salad dressing, because all that stuff is trash. So make your own salad dressing at home. It's easy and it's cheaper.
Yes, discipline is the highest form of self-love. What's up, Fresh Child in the house? Love to you, Sister Renee. I love your story, and we will keep in touch. Y'all have a blessed Tuesday and stay healthy.
Bye, guys.